Welcome back to our channel, English with Ethan. If you're someone who understands English but cannot speak it, if you feel scared to open your mouth, if you feel stuck, nervous, or too shy to try, this video is for you. Today, I'll tell you the true style journey of a beginner, just like you. His name is Richard. He was not fluent. He didn't have money for big courses. He didn't live in an English-speaking country. But still, he found a way to speak English daily, from home. And if he can do it, so can you. So let's begin. Richard was 26 years old. He worked at a small coffee shop in a quiet town. Every day he served tea, coffee, and snacks. And every day he saw people talking in English. Sometimes tourists came. Sometimes rich customers spoke in English. Sometimes he heard English on the radio, in songs, or on the street. He could understand a little bit. But when it was his turn to speak, he couldn't. His mind stopped. His mouth stayed closed. He felt small, foolish, and embarrassed. Why can't I speak? I know the words. I understand movies, but I just freeze. This question hurt him every day, but he didn't give up. One small moment changed everything. One evening, Richard sat alone on a bench after work. A child walked past him, about 8 years old, and spoke to his mother in English. "Mom, look, that tree is so tall, I want to climb it." The words were simple, but they were spoken with confidence and joy. Richard smiled. Then he asked himself, how can a child speak so freely? And I cannot. And then he whispered to himself, maybe I'm doing it all wrong. Maybe I'm trying too hard. Maybe I don't need grammar rules. Maybe I just need to begin. Small. Richard's first step. 1 sentence a day. That night he made a promise. I will not be silent anymore. I will speak. Every day, just 1 sentence. But I will speak. He looked at his phone and said, "This is my phone." Then he picked up a pen and said, "This is a pen." Then he smiled at the mirror and said, "I am learning English." That was the beginning. It felt strange. It felt slow. But it felt good. He had finally opened his mouth. The power of the English bubble. Richard decided to create something simple in his life. An English bubble. He didn't need a classroom. He didn't need a teacher. He just made small changes in his daily life. He changed his phone to English. Now every day he saw words like settings, alarm, gallery, and messages. Slowly, his eyes and brain got used to English. He spoke to objects in English. He looked around and named things. This is my bed. That is a table. I'm wearing a black shirt. He didn't care if anyone watched. He just practiced alone. He added 1 English sentence to his daily routine. In the morning, I am brushing my teeth. While working, I am serving coffee. At night, I am going to sleep. These were real daily sentences, not grammar book examples. They were his life in English. Why this step was so important. This tiny step gave Richard something big. Belief. He stopped waiting for fluency. He stopped saying, I will start next week. He stopped saying, I need someone to talk to. He understood this truth. Fluency is not one big moment. It is one small step, repeated every day. After 1 week, Richard looked in the mirror. He didn't say, I am fluent, but he smiled and whispered, I am speaking. I am showing up. I will not stop. That day, something changed inside him. He was no longer a person who wanted to speak English. He had become a speaker, not perfect, but active. And that's where fluency truly begins. Part 2. The mirror trick. Richard's secret to speaking alone. Now, in part 2. Richard discovers a simple, strange, but powerful method to practice English when he's completely alone. It's called the mirror trick, and it changed his life. The lonely struggle. After 1 week of speaking small sentences, Richard felt a little more confident. But he had a new problem. I can say words, but I don't feel fluent. I don't know how to talk longer. I still feel nervous when I see people. He had no one to practice with, no speaking partner, no English friends, no teacher to correct him, just himself. He sat on his bed and whispered, "How can I practice more?" without anyone. That night, something surprising happened. The mirror moment. Richard went to brush his teeth. As he looked in the mirror, he saw his tired face. He laughed and said in English, "You look sleepy, man." It was a joke, a random sentence. But he paused and looked again. He said, "You worked hard today. Tomorrow will be better. Let's try one more time." He wasn't just looking. He was talking to himself in English, and it felt good. Richard's new routine: talk to the mirror. From the next day, Richard added this to his life. Every morning, before work, he looked at the mirror and said, "Good morning, Richard. You're learning English. I'm proud of you. Today, you will speak with courage." Every night, before sleeping, he stood again in front of the mirror. "I made some mistakes today, but I spoke. Tomorrow I'll try to speak 3 sentences. Let's keep going." It wasn't perfect. Sometimes he didn't know the words. Sometimes he paused and forgot. But the habit was born. He was speaking, expressing, and practicing, alone, but not silently. The benefits of the mirror trick. Richard didn't know this then, but he had unlocked one of the most powerful methods in language learning. Let me explain why. 1. You hear your own voice in English. Most people are scared of how they sound. The mirror removes fear. When you hear your voice, you accept it. And when you accept it, you improve it. 2. You practice emotionally, not just logically. When Richard said, "I'm proud of you," it wasn't a textbook line. It came from the heart. And the brain remembers emotional language better than boring grammar. 3. You build speaking stamina. Richard started with 1 sentence, then 2, then 5, then 10. After 3 weeks, he could speak for 2 full minutes, non-stop. And nobody taught him, just his reflection and a promise. I will speak daily. Richard's mirror talk on day 10. Here's what he said to himself. Hi, Richard. You're doing great. You spoke 3 sentences yesterday. Today, let's try 4. It's okay to make mistakes. Mistakes mean you are trying. You're not perfect, but you are better than yesterday. Can you feel the power of that? No fancy vocabulary, no grammar lessons, just real words spoken from the heart every single day. How you can do the same. If you're watching this and thinking, I don't have anyone to speak to. I don't have time for classes. I'm too shy to speak outside. Here's your action plan. From Richard's method. Step 1. Stand in front of the mirror. Every day, look into your eyes. Breathe deeply. Even if it feels strange, stay there. Step 2. Speak 1 real sentence, not from books, from your day. I am tired today. I have work later. I'm scared to speak, but I'm trying. Step 3. Talk for 1 full minute. Don't stop. If you forget a word, use your hands. Use sounds. Just keep going. Step 4. Smile at yourself. Always end your practice with a smile. Say, I'm proud of you. Let's keep going. One day I'll speak fluently. This is not just speaking practice. This is confidence training. Richard didn't need a school. He didn't need a native speaker. He didn't need perfect grammar. He just needed one thing: a mirror, a little courage, and a promise. I will talk to myself every day, no matter what. And guess what? After 30 days of mirror speaking, he didn't just speak better. He felt stronger, calmer, and ready to speak to others. Part 3. The copycat method. Richard's shortcut to real speaking. He didn't sound natural. He sounded slow, robotic, like he was reading from a school book. Richard knew how to speak, but not how to speak like real people. And then, something powerful happened. The day Richard found his first English video. One weekend, Richard was sitting at home. He opened YouTube and typed, "Simple English Conversations." He clicked on a video. Two friends talking in a coffee shop. At first, it was too fast. He didn't understand every word, but he watched it again, and then again. On the third try, he paused the video. The first line was, "Hey man, what's up?" Richard repeated it. "Hey man, what's up?" He smiled. "That sounds fun." He played the next line. "Nothing much, just chilling." "You?" He copied it again. "Nothing much, just chilling." "You?" For the next 15 minutes, he didn't just watch the video. He copied every single line with the same tone, same rhythm, same feeling. Richard discovers shadowing, the copycat method. That day, Richard learned something powerful. If I want to sound like native speakers, I have to practice like them. I must copy their sentences like a parrot. Not just repeat the words, but copy the music, the emotion, the flow. This method is called shadowing, but Richard called it the copycat method. And here's how he used it daily. Richard's 20-minute copycat routine. Every morning, Richard followed this routine. Step 1. Choose a short English video, 2 to 3 minutes. He searched for simple videos, daily conversations, interviews, vlogs, story times. Step 2. Watch once, with subtitles. He watched to understand the meaning. Step 3. Watch again, and pause after every line. He paused after each sentence and said it out loud. Same words, same speed, same tone, same feeling. If they laughed, he laughed. If they whispered, he whispered. If they sounded surprised, he copied the emotion. Step 4. Practice in the mirror. After shadowing the video, Richard stood in the mirror and said the same lines, but this time like his own dialogue. "Hey man, what's up?" "I'm good. Long time no see." "Yeah, I've been busy with work. Let's grab coffee this weekend." He felt like he was in a real conversation, even though he was alone. Why this method works like magic. Richard didn't memorize random vocabulary. He didn't read boring dialogues. He learned by living the language, one real conversation at a time. Here's why it worked so well. 1. He learned real phrases people actually use, not textbook language like, "Where is the library located?" but real-life sentences like, "Let's hang out sometime." "I'm just chilling." Sounds good. 2. He improved his pronunciation. By copying real speakers, Richard's English started to sound natural and clear, not robotic. 3. He developed automatic speaking. His mouth got used to full sentences, not just single words. So he didn't think too much. He just spoke. 4. He trained his listening and speaking together. Most people learn passively. Richard practiced actively. Watch plus copy equals fluency. Richard's progress. After 1 month. After 30 days of the copycat method, he could speak 2 to 3 minutes without stopping. He used new expressions he heard in videos. He no longer feared fast English because he had practiced with it. He started thinking in English while walking, working, even dreaming. One night, his co-worker said, "Hey, Richard, your English sounds better now." Richard smiled. He had never taken a single class. All he did was watch, pause, copy, every single day. If Richard could sit at home, pick free videos, and turn them into speaking practice, you can too. No partner? No problem. No money? Doesn't matter. No confidence. Build it one sentence at a time. Copy others. Until one day, the voice you're copying becomes your own. Want to start today? Here's your action plan. 1. Go to YouTube. 2. Search Easy English Conversations. 3. Pick a 2-minute video. Pause after each sentence. 5. Repeat the sentence out loud 3 times. 6. Do this for 15 to 20 minutes. 7. Then stand in the mirror and practice again like it's your scene. Repeat this every day. In 30 days, you will be 10 times more confident. Part 4. Stretch your sentences. The secret to real fluency. Now in Part 4, Richard faces a new challenge. I can speak short sentences, but I want to speak more. How can I speak longer naturally without sounding like a robot? This part is all about sentence stretching. The secret to turning small English into strong English. The moment Richard got stuck. Richard was in a grocery store. An English-speaking customer walked in and asked him, "Hey, can you help me find the milk?" Richard smiled and said, "Yes, milk? There." The customer smiled politely, but the conversation died. It was too short, too basic. Richard felt it. He could speak, yes, but his sentences were like dry toast, short, plain, and boring. He thought to himself, I want to speak full sentences, not just 2 words. That night, he sat at his desk and opened his notebook. He wrote, "How can I make my English longer, stronger, and more interesting?" The discovery. Sentence stretching. He started with a basic sentence. I like coffee. And he challenged himself. How can I make this sentence longer? So he stretched it. I like coffee in the morning. I like coffee in the morning, because it helps me feel awake. I like coffee in the morning because it helps me feel awake, especially on cold days. Suddenly, one small idea became a full, flowing thought. That night, Richard created his own method. Sentence stretching. Richard's 4-level stretching technique. Level 1. Say the main idea. I like coffee. Level 2. Add time place. I like coffee in the morning. I like coffee at work. I like coffee when it's raining. Level 3. Add reason. Because it gives me energy. Because I enjoy the smell. Because it helps me relax. Level 4. Add emotion or example. Especially when I'm tired after a long day. My favorite is cappuccino. It's creamy and smooth. It reminds me of my childhood. So now his sentence looked like this. I like coffee in the morning because it gives me energy, especially when I'm tired after a long night. And my favorite is cappuccino. It reminds me of home. Boom. One small sentence became 4 to 5 lines of confident English. And the best part? He was not using new words, just stretching what he already knew. Richard's daily practice plan. Every night, Richard wrote 3 short sentences and stretched each one. Example 1. Short. I walk to work. Stretched. I walk to work every day because it's close to my house. It takes only 10 minutes, and I enjoy the fresh air in the morning. Example 2. Short. I watched a movie. Stretched. I watched a movie last night on my phone. It was a romantic comedy, and I really enjoyed it because it made me laugh after a long day. Example 3. Short. I feel nervous. Stretched. I feel nervous when I speak English to strangers. Sometimes I forget words or speak slowly, but I'm trying to improve, and I know I'll get better. He practiced 15 minutes every night, stretching 3 to 5 sentences, and in just 2 weeks, he noticed a big change. How sentence stretching helped Richard grow fast. He could speak longer without stopping. Now he didn't freeze after one sentence. He could continue naturally, like a flowing river. He didn't need more vocabulary. He used the same words, just in smarter ways. His confidence doubled. When someone asked him, "How was your day?" he no longer said, "Good." He said, "It was good. I had a lot of work in the morning, but I took a nice walk during lunch. Now I'm just relaxing with tea." He felt proud of his ability to express, not just answer. Richard's mirror talk, now with longer sentences. Earlier, Richard stood in the mirror and said, "I am learning English. I feel nervous. I want to speak fluently." Now he stretched them. "I am learning English every day, even though sometimes I feel tired. I speak to myself in the mirror, and it helps me feel brave. I feel nervous when I talk to fast speakers, but I remind myself I'm improving every day. I want to speak fluently, not to impress anyone, but to feel free inside my heart." He wasn't just practicing English. He was expressing his life. And that's what true fluency is. How you can start sentence stretching today. Here's a simple plan you can follow like Richard. 1. Write 3 short daily life sentences. Example: I eat breakfast. I watch YouTube. I am tired. 2. Add time or place. When? Where? 3. Add reason. Why? 4. Add feelings or examples. How do you feel? Any detail? 5. Speak all of it out loud in front of a mirror. Do this every day for just 10 to 15 minutes. In 1 month, your speaking will feel 10 times more natural and strong. You don't need 1,000 new words. You just need to stretch 10 good ones and use them well. Richard wasn't fluent because he was lucky. He was fluent because he stopped staying small. Every time you stretch your sentence, you stretch your courage, you stretch your fluency, and you stretch your belief in yourself. Even now, Richard keeps a small notebook. He writes 1 short sentence every day and stretches it into his voice. You can do it too. Don't speak less because you're scared. Speak more, 1 sentence at a time. Part 5. In Part 4, he learned to stretch his sentences, making his speaking longer and smoother. But now, he had learned alone. He had spoken to himself. He had written and listened and practiced. And yet, one thing still scared him: talking to a real person. That fear, the fear of being judged, laughed at, or misunderstood, is what stops most people from ever speaking English out loud. This is the story of how Richard faced that fear and what he learned from that moment. The fear before the first conversation. Richard stood outside a small coffee shop. He had been practicing for 2 months. He could speak in the mirror. He could shadow native speakers. He could stretch sentences and express his feelings. But when he saw someone walking toward him, he froze. His heart beat faster. His hands were cold. He thought, what if I forget my words? What if I sound stupid? What if they don't understand me? He stepped back. He didn't go in. That night, he looked at himself in the mirror and said, "You're not weak. You've trained every single day. Now it's time to try." And that's when he created his next step. I will speak one full sentence to a real person. Tomorrow. The first real conversation. The next day, Richard returned to the same coffee shop. He didn't carry a textbook. He didn't try to sound perfect. He just walked in and stood in line. The woman at the counter smiled and said, "Hi, what can I get you?" This was the moment. Richard took a deep breath and said, "Hi, I would like one cappuccino, please. And a chocolate muffin." He waited. No reaction, no confusion, no judgment. The woman simply said, "Sure, that'll be $5.50. And just like that, he had spoken English in real life. How he felt after that moment. Richard took his coffee, walked outside, sat on a bench, and smiled. He whispered to himself, "I did it. It wasn't perfect, but it was real. I can speak English. I'm not scared anymore." He didn't say anything deep. He didn't give a speech. He didn't impress anyone. But to him, it was everything. Because the first real conversation is never about being fluent. It's about proving to yourself that you can speak. And once you do it once, you'll want to do it again. What Richard learned that day. 1. People are not judging you. The woman didn't laugh. She smiled. Most people are kind. They respect your effort. 2. Your fear is bigger than the reality. He thought he would freeze, but the moment he opened his mouth, his words came out naturally, because he had practiced them at home. 3. The first step makes all other steps easier. That one sentence made him feel 10 times more confident. He thought, if I can do this, I can ask for directions. If I can ask for directions, I can make a new friend. If I can make a friend, I can live in English. And all of that started with one cappuccino. Your first real conversation plan. Like Richard. If you've been watching this series and still haven't spoken to anyone, here's how you can take your first step. Step 1. Prepare 3 simple sentences you can use. Examples. Hi, can I order a coffee, please? Excuse me, what time is it? Can you help me find this street? Step 2. Practice them in the mirror. Say them until they feel natural. Step 3. Go to a safe, simple place. A store, coffee shop, or a library counter. Somewhere you only need to speak for 10 seconds. Step 4. Say it, no matter what. Don't wait for confidence. Confidence comes after you speak, not before. Step 5. Celebrate, even if it's small. It doesn't matter if you made mistakes. You tried. That's power. Remember this. You don't need perfect grammar. You don't need big words. You don't need to be fluent today. You just need courage for one sentence. Because if you can say one real sentence in the real world, you've already crossed the line that 90% of learners never cross. Richard said it best. You don't learn to swim by reading about water. You learn by jumping in, even if it's just 1 foot. Part 6. The final transformation of Richard's journey. Now, it's been 6 months since Richard started his journey. He's more confident. He practices daily. He even chats casually with people around him. But now something strange starts to happen. Something magical. The night it happened. One evening, Richard went to bed after watching an English storytime video. It was a simple bedtime story. Something peaceful and relaxing. He turned off the lights, closed his eyes, and started thinking about his day. But his thoughts didn't sound like this. I went to the store. I bought bread. Instead, his brain said, today was nice. I had a great walk after lunch. I saw a small dog trying to catch a butterfly. It was funny. Then he paused and realized something powerful. I'm thinking in English, not forcing it, Not translating from his native language, not practicing, just naturally thinking in English. His mind had made the shift. What does thinking in English really mean? Thinking in English doesn't mean you speak fast or perfectly. It means you don't translate before speaking. Your brain creates direct English thoughts. You start dreaming, planning, and reacting in English, without stress. And that's the moment fluency truly begins. How Richard trained his brain to think in English. This didn't happen overnight. It happened because he followed 4 clear steps, day after day. Let's explore them deeply. Step 1. Talk to yourself every day, inside your mind. From the beginning, Richard asked himself, "What am I doing now? I'm brushing my teeth. What am I thinking about? I'm thinking about lunch. What do I want to do next? I want to relax and watch something." He didn't say it out loud all the time, but his brain was always practicing. He trained himself to make English the default voice in his head. Step 2. Use English for simple decisions. Every time he made a choice, he used English in his head. Should I wear this shirt or that one? Should I eat now or later? What do I need from the store? Instead of saying these things in his native language, he made a rule. Every small decision will be made in English. That's how he made English a part of his daily thoughts, not just a subject to study. Step 3. Visual practice. Think in pictures and describe them. When Richard saw something, a tree, a person, a shop, he would mentally describe it in English. That woman is wearing a red dress. The sky looks beautiful today. This coffee tastes strong but nice. He didn't write it. He didn't say it. He just thought it. This helped him connect real life plus real English. Step 4. No subtitles rule. After 3 months. At first, Richard used subtitles when watching English videos, but after 3 months, he set a challenge. No subtitles, only listening. It was hard. But slowly, his brain started focusing on meaning instead of every word. And without even realizing it, he started understanding full ideas. And when you understand full ideas, your brain starts to respond in English, not your own language. The most difficult moment. But he didn't quit. One day, Richard had a conversation with a tourist who spoke fast English. He understood only 60%. He got nervous. His mind went blank for a few seconds. Later, he sat alone and thought, "Am I still not good enough?" But then, he remembered something. Just 6 months ago, he was scared to say, "I like coffee." And now he was speaking with a foreigner for 3 to 4 minutes. That wasn't failure. That was growth. So he smiled and told himself, "I will never be perfect, but I will always be better than yesterday." That night, he thought in English again. But this time, he added a sentence to his heart. "I am proud of myself." How thinking in English changed Richard's life. He started speaking more freely. He joined small English meetups in his area. He applied for a new job and got selected because of his confidence. He started dreaming in English once or twice a week. He began enjoying English, not fearing it. He no longer saw English as a mountain to climb. He saw it as a bridge to freedom. Richard's story isn't about a genius. It's not about someone who moved abroad, joined expensive classes, or had a perfect accent. It's about someone like you. Someone who started small, practiced daily, faced fear, failed sometimes, but never gave up. And that's what real fluency is. Not speaking perfectly, but speaking bravely, every day. If you want to think in English too, start with these 5 daily habits. 1. Talk to yourself in your head, 5 minutes in the morning. 2. Describe everything around you, like you're explaining it to a friend. 3. Use English while making small decisions. 4. Watch short English videos with no subtitles. 5. At night, review your day in English, even just 2 to 3 lines. Do this every day, and slowly, your brain will stop asking, "How do I say this?" Instead, it will simply say it. If this 6-part journey helped you, if it made English feel possible and real, then let this be your beginning. Don't wait for confidence. Train it, speak it, live it. And remember, you don't need to be great to start, but you must start to become great. We're building a channel for real learners, not perfect people. If you want daily English, emotional stories, and step-by-step speaking tips, hit subscribe now, and let's walk this journey together. Your fluency begins here. God bless your English journey.